Hello everybody, I'm Mango Thunderslice, and today is deja vu all over again, right? It reminds me of just like what happened last year with this whole cosmetic airstrike on Syria, totally pointless except for Trump to stroke his ego, maybe, distract from some of the other clusterfucks that are going on, took down the Old Glory, now just the State of Jefferson flag and the Gadsden flag, because I'm not feeling too proud of my federal government right now, and I don't think that will come back anytime soon. Not that I've ever really been proud of the federal government, but for a little while there, I was actually feeling pretty good about the direction that this country was going, and well, that's all gone now. I'll leave it like that. So yeah, basically, it's the good news is that nobody actually died, right? I mean, 3 civilians were injured, but nobody died, and so that's good. I'll count the blessings there. And it's like you're just going and listening to all the different, videos about Syria from all the different perspectives. And it's like, it's kind of crazy. You got the Q people, right? And again, I did a bunch of Q videos, and Q up until through like December was very, very legit and dropping very, very useful and prescient information, right? And then it's like sometime in December, it switched over and it became just this hyper patriotic, rah, 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 like just bullshit, like no intel, just we are the people, yeah, go unite, they think you're stupid. It's like this like almost made for TV just like nonsense, for I don't know, people to just feel good about in their pep rallies for America. And I'm reading these comments, and people like, oh yeah, he's firing airstrikes at the deep state targets in Syria. Like, what the fuck? Deep state targets in Syria? So he's firing missiles, what, at the rebels? Like, how, what? And I saw a commenter, he's like, oh yeah, this is just Trump's beating the pants off the deep state. He's fired Tomahawk cruise missiles at the deep state targets in Syria, and next he'll fire missiles at the deep state targets in Iran. Pray for our military. It's like, oh my God. Jesus Christ, the Q virus has gone terminal. And people think that fucking we're gonna bomb Iran, right? What, to fight the deep state? Are you retarded? I have supported this president because there was a rational analysis that allowed that. And, it's not like, I'm like, oh, the world is ending now. It's like, obviously, Trump's telegraphing of the strike and, firing it at these targets which did not basically, take out any lives, They say all the missiles were hit their target, and the Syrian military says they intercepted 71 out of 103 using 30-year-old Soviet weapons. Well, I'm inclined to believe more the Syrian-Russian account that the significant amount of those missiles were intercepted. If that's the case, those doesn't really speak well to the military-industrial complex and all their fancy gadgets that they've spent so many hundreds of billions of dollars making. And there's the people who are like, I told you so, Trump's just a Zionist Jew, and he's Benjamin Netanyahu's lapdog. It's like, I don't necessarily think that's the case, but I think that what's really disturbing here, and even if this is just more 5D chess, it's very disturbing still that the Israeli lobby has this much sway over the president. It's very, very disgusting, not even disturbing, that these people can still go on their claptrap about humanitarian wars. It is unfucking believable. It's like Israel's just begging to get nuked, right? But of course they can't, because they have nukes. And that's what North Korea sees, and they're like, you know what? Maybe I can be as completely fucking insane as the rest of these people on the world stage if I just get these nuclear weapons that can totally obliterate everything in a giant flash, right? It's this network of psychopathy, and it doesn't check itself. It amplifies itself. The only thing that's changing the game here is us checking the narrative, right? We have the potential to basically bitch slap the media and reclaim the narrative and set that in stone here at the people level. Because again, the media can blah, 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 oh my God, save the children. They can go on and on and on, but if it doesn't stick, if it doesn't sink into the people's minds, it doesn't matter. They're just spinning their wheels, right? So it's important to remember our seat of power here in maintaining our own narrative and having that conversation with our friends and family and basically making it clear that no, we're not going to go along with this jingoist, rah, 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 America, blow everything to hell bullshit. Decided to buzz my head again, start from scratch. Of course, this was not like I buzzed my head just because of the Syrian missile strike, but it's just certain times in life you feel like just resetting things a little bit. Because, you know, it's like, does the Syrian missile strike serve as an effective distraction from the Mueller Russia probe? And, you know, Trump's lawyer getting, you know, his office invaded and documents taken, and this whole Stormy Daniels bullshit who only the twittering fucking liberals care about. Definitely distracts well from all that. Even got John McCain and Lindsey Graham saying, oh, good job, Mr. Trump. Way to show how big of balls you have. Yeah. John fucking McCain. When is this man gonna die? Fucking war hero. Yeah, my ass. My ass, John McCain. You ain't no fucking war hero. Just, you know, just needs to be made very clear to Trump, just like after the last missile strike, that you're not free to act as you wish here. You are not, you don't get to just play, you know, yank our chain around just to appease the Israeli lobby, all right? Fuck the Israeli lobby. You want to do make Israel great again? No, I thought it was make America great again. We don't fucking care about making Israel great again. I don't. I mean, maybe the fucking, you know, 2% of Americans that are dual citizens that seem to occupy 90% of government positions, I mean, I'm sure they're all down for it, but, you know, I don't really give a fuck. And neither do most of the rest of America that voted for you, Mr. Trump, from which you derive your lawful authority. We better see Hillary in bars by the end of the year. That's all I can say. We better see John Podesta on the rack being torn apart, right? We better see some major action. I'm not talking about, some website was shut down, Backpage.com. Oh yeah, fucking, you know, I'll go give credit where it's due. It's good. It's good. But it's like, if you want to make up for this one, Mr. Trump, and not have my promise from the last video fulfilled in total, right? You better give us some good shit, man, because this is pretty sad. You think you're stroking your dick and looking all strong fucking for the world? No, you look like an ignorant twat. 71 of the missiles got shot down by 30-year-old Soviet tech. You didn't hit anything. I'm glad you didn't kill anyone. You didn't, you know, hit anything of importance, but this is the other thing. Okay, let's go into this completely asinine, brain-dead, fucking moronic premise that the mainstream operates on. We're going to slap Assad on the wrist for using chemical weapons, right? Ignoring the absurdity of the premise. Fucking, we want to slap him on the wrist for using chemical weapons. So what do they decide to do? They send cruise missiles to strike 3 targets, supposedly the place where the chemical weapons are being stored. Okay. I mean, I'm not like, you know, a fucking chemical weapons expert, right? But I'm pretty sure if you've got these chemical weapons in a warehouse or a building or something, and you blow that building up, you're gonna get fucking chemical weapons all over the entire surrounding area and neighborhoods. Are you like, what sort of dumb Star Wars fucking plot line is this? The bad guys are out there. We gotta go blow them up, and that'll solve the problem. Yeah, it's like, oh my God. Yep, references Star Wars. Well, I've got this one. Number 1, Dad, right? Yep. Milo Yiannopoulos likes to call Trump Dad. Well, yep, there's our number 1 dad right there, Mr. Darth Vader. because the Q virus, right, and this whole rah, 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 trust Trump despite all the details, trust, right, but don't use any of your rational brain, don't respond to any of the completely absurd theater. I mean, that's dangerous, man. Like, we should question our narratives. And again, I'm not saying that 100% this attack means that Trump is a Zionist and all is lost and we should just throw up our hands and dig in for civil war. I think that, again, this was very much just another appeasement of the Israeli lobby and theater to distract from other domestic squabbles and shenanigans going on. And that ultimately Xi, Putin, and Trump are still working, on a greater timeline, which is an alternative to the mass genocide of the planet, but still ends in a world government, something like a new Star Trek type state, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's just 1984 and I'm still being hopelessly optimistic. Because straight up, with the UK fabricating, the Skripal Russian poisoning, right? They find out that it's not even Novichok, it's BZ toxin, which is manufactured by the US and the UK, right? The UK, basically, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, where all this propaganda comes out of, is just like a t-shirt maker in somewhere in England, right? They manufactured this this whole chemical weapons attack. I mean, if people go into the town and there's no bodies, they go to the hospital and they're like, yeah, we don't know what they're talking about. There was no chemical attack. This is all just made up by these guys in these white helmets, right? George Clooney wants to wax poetic, but they're a bunch of actors, degenerate crisis actors who are fanning the flames of war simply to serve their Zionist masters. And I say fuck them all. Fuck them all. To put it politely. Because people, I mean, they're waking up to this bullshit, and again, they're trying so hard to fucking get traction, but it doesn't work anymore. You don't have the minds of the people, and you're not gonna get them back. We won't give them back. And if you think you can just railroad the narrative like you've done so many times in the past, you're gonna get bitch slapped so hard in return, it's gonna make your fucking it's gonna make your ass jiggle for days. Yep, that's what's up. And my whole narrative has been premised with or without Trump. I just see this whole Trump phenomenon as a very useful opportunity to catalyze changes. And we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that beautiful paradise this century, whether Trump comes along with us or not. So, despite all the shenanigans, despite all the bullshit, it's all just higher heights and positive vibrations, baby. And I hope you can, find peace in the storm as well. But anyway, just a little bit of a missive today. Hope y'all are doing well in your own particular idiom, and we'll talk again soon. Cheers.